And if your camera doesn't work, or you're not in a solid space to turn your camera on, for example, your background is a little out there, what you'll have to do is either go to a computer lab if you can, right? Or use a virtual background. But we have to work something out because I need to see your faces to be marked as attended. Okay. So if you can't turn your camera on for whatever reason, send me an email and we can try to work something out. All right. Your face must be present the entire time during class as well. So that's another requirement. Of course, until we get into the physical classroom, then at that point, obviously your face will be present. At least I'll be able to see it. All right.
Okay, do you see me, Mr. Brown?
What was that?
Do you see me?
I see your coffee table, I think.
Oh, snap. Okay.
All right, now I see you.
Okay.
All right, so before we get started, I want to kind of get the juices flowing, if you will, get you excited and motivated about tech and what is out there. So I'm sure, hopefully, you've heard of the metaverse. Right? The metaverse is, although it's a little scary to think about the social, ethical, and moral implications of the metaverse, it is the next step in digital evolution. So I want to play a video, it's 5 minutes, it won't take long, about what the metaverse is. And as programmers, right, which is what you'll be upon conclusion of this class, at least I feel pretty strongly about it, if you pass this class, you'll be able to contribute to the metaverse. You'll have the skills to contribute. And by the end of this class, if you're interested in contributing, please reach out to me. I have projects and I need people to work on them. So I need programmers. Obviously, it's not any financial incentive as of yet, but you'll get the experience. And that's definitely something that employers love to see on your resume, projects that you've worked on outside of class. All right. So let's play the video. If you can't hear this, let me know.
What actually is the metaverse? Well, if we think of the internet as something that we look at, the metaverse is a version of the internet that we're inside. The idea is that we will experience the metaverse as an avatar, a virtual version of ourselves that we control as we explore this new online frontier. But what will we actually do?
Okay, so Boz, here we are in what might be considered a representation of what the metaverse could be.
Yeah, for us, the metaverse is a spatial construct, as opposed to the previous web, which was really a very linear kind of 2D flat thing. We want this one to be immersive. Now, of course, it doesn't mean it has to be virtual reality. It could also just be on a phone or on a desktop computer.
You might have noticed that we're using the tools of the metaverse to create a good portion of this item. My avatar has been created by a couple of companies, Ready Player Me and Oz. They already create tools for people to make avatars from a photo. It's this virtual version of us which will travel between online experiences in any metaverse.
And then over time, what I'm most excited about is an economy there. And I mean, economy not just of digital goods, sure, and entertainment, that's great, but also services. In an immersive environment, I'm going to have an avatar. I'm going to need a stylist. I'm going to have a home space.
Microsoft has adapted its workplace meeting software Teams for the metaverse by creating a system called Mesh. It's designed to work with a variety of different devices, including virtual and augmented reality. AR, as it's known, projects graphics on top of the real world using headsets like Microsoft's HoloLens or mobile phones. There's quite a few people that have got fatigued by having to have video chat meetings and things of that nature, and that they realize they now crave human contact.
Human communication is about 5%, speech is about 95% everything else. I've been in my living room with the entire team around the table, right? Making eye contact, where all the gestures are coming into the right place. So it changes completely the call it the screen fatigue we're feeling today.
The next piece of the metaverse puzzle isn't just about seeing these virtual worlds, but feeling them as well. Meta has revealed that it's been working on a glove that will let the user feel sensations like holding an object. The glove has a number of sensors that measure the wearer's movements, and air pockets across the glove surface inflate to create sensation. These gloves aren't quite ready for prime time yet, but they're an indicator of the kind of research that's going on behind the scenes.
So if any of you have ever seen the movie Ready Player One, it's kind of similar to that. And although I'm not the biggest digital virtual person, I am truly fascinated by the technical implications of it. I do see a drawback, a lack of social interaction in the real world, but there's huge potential with the metaverse. So be on the lookout for that. As programmers, like I said, once you finish this class, you'll be essentially, beginning programmers. You can contribute to this. You can build these virtual worlds. If you've ever heard of the game engine Unreal Engine, it's made by Epic. Epic is also the creator of Fortnite. They're also headquartered in Cary, if you didn't know. They bought a whole mall. But they distribute their Unreal Engine, which is the platform that they built all their games in, for free. And you can build digital worlds in Unreal Engine. There's also, I forget the other game engine that's popular out there, but there's different engines out there that you can do. So, and yeah, there are internships there, and I'll talk about that at the end of class, the job opportunities in this field. So, getting started, I just want to introduce myself. I think I had most of you all, or you've seen me before. My name is Professor James Brown. I am a graduate of North Carolina A&T State University twice over. And at the end of this semester, it'll be 3 times over. So I'll be Dr. James Brown by the end of the semester. I'm so excited about that. Aggie Pride. And I want to just, why did I choose to come to Shaw? So if you didn't know a little bit of history, A&T actually started as a part of Shaw. The federal government mandated that each state create a university or integrate their university for freed slaves. North Carolina didn't want to integrate NC State, so they created A&T. And that was the formation of A&T, and it was started as an annex of Shaw University and eventually moved to Greensboro. So when they say Shaw University is the mother of most HBCUs in the South, or at least in North Carolina, it's true. Many of the founding presidents of the HBCUs in North Carolina went to Shaw. And so I'm also grew up here in Raleigh. I went to high school right down the street from Shaw. And so I see Shaw as, a shining example of what an HBCU can be. And I want to raise the bar and raise it to that standard that I know it can be and fulfill that potential. And I do that through you all, right? I do that by teaching you all up to a level that I know will outshine most of your peers. So when I tell you all, I want you all to compete with any graduate across the country. I'm serious. And that's why I push so hard. So in this class, we'll learn a lot, and it's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie to you. Computer science or computer information systems, programming in general is not the easiest thing to go after, but it's worthwhile and financially lucrative once you graduate. I want you all to get jobs starting at 70, 80, maybe 90 and 100, depending on what your skill set is and what you've done outside of class. And that'll be important as we go through the semester. You're going to have to take time outside of class to work on this skill, just like any skill, whether it be a sport, whether it be, if you all are gamers, it takes time to get good at something. And you can't just spend an hour, every 3 days, 3 days a week and think you'll be great at it. You'll have to spend time outside of class, and I'll show you some resources that you can use outside of class in order to do that. All right. So before I jump into the syllabus and more, I do want you all to introduce yourselves. So what's your name? What's your major, and why you chose that major? And I'll just go in order from my screen down. So Ben, sorry.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Vasquez Jr. I'm a business administration major. I'm currently a senior at Shaw University. And I joined this class because I've taken his class before and I actually enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. And so I took the second one.
We should have got you over to computer science, but that's okay.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. If we start a master's program, I'm gonna reach out to you. All right, Krishan.
Hey, my name is Krishan Williams. I'm a sophomore, and the reason I chose this class this major because I did good the last
What's your major?
program.
What's your major?
Program.
Computer science?
Computer science. Yeah.
Okay. You said you did good in the last class?
Mm-hmm.
Don't sound too excited about it. All right, Josh.
My name's Josh Kamba. I'm a computer information systems major. And I decided to choose this major because honestly, Shaw didn't have the major that I had. And probably the closest thing to it was computer information systems. And I like computers and everything that kind of come with it. So the money's good. So that's why I chose it.
What was the major that you wanted?
I said computer information systems.
No, which one did you want that y'all didn't have?
I wanted to be an electronic engineer.
Electrical engineering?
No, electronic.
Oh, electronic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, Brendan.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Brendan Trainer. I believe I'm a senior. My major is computer science, and man, I chose this because I've been doing HTML since 56 and 28.8K modems. I've been doing this. I've loved it since like the Palace, if you remember that, Mr. Brown, the network and meeting place. Since I've seen the Futurama episodes with that metaverse they've been talking about, or the Bruce Willis movie where we're all avatars and stuff like that. I've loved computer science. It's all I've wanted to do since I was a kid. I wanted to do it in the Army, all that stuff. So that's why I'm here. I was in VUU, transferred over here. So
got you. I think that Bruce Willis movie was Surrogate, if I'm not
mistaken.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah. That's what if any of you are interested in the metaverse, I encourage you all to watch Ready Player One. That movie, I think it's spot on with what we're looking at now. It also shows what real life could potentially look like, which doesn't look very pretty. But anyway. All right, Jazir, if your mic is on.
My name is Jazir Mickens. I'm a computer science major. I'm a junior. I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, but yeah, Shaw, this is like the closest thing to it that Shaw offers.
Okay. And it's important, electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, and even business administration, if you're not CS. Learning coding, learning how to program, learning how to build efficient programs can translate to any field. It's not, limited to just, I'm going to be a programmer. No, you can speak to a mechanical engineer and they're like, you can kind of be a liaison between a mechanical engineer and programmer because you speak both languages. Or, if you're doing business administration, you can speak with business stakeholders and the programmers because you know both, languages and verbiage, if you will. So, the vernacular for both of those fields. So even though you may not go into a programming role, there are tons of roles out there that knowing how to program, knowing the underlying structure of software can definitely be beneficial. So even if you're not CS majors, which I wish all of you were, that's okay. You can still apply what you learn here to different fields. So that kind of gets me to the next point. I think most of you have heard this, but the difference between IT and let's say CS, computer science. So computer science is about building programs, building efficient programs. If you all are much like me, I don't like waiting when I click the refresh button. I need that thing to go instant. And when it doesn't, there's a problem. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different technologies at play when it comes to the internet. But let's say an app, for example, an app is loading slow. What's going on? Well, it could be an internet connection, or it could be a programmer missed something, didn't build the app as efficient as possible. And so that's what separates CS from, let's say, a coding boot camp. We're learning how to build efficient programs. We're learning the underlying structures of computers so that we can leverage those to build those efficient programs. So throughout the entire semester, you'll hear me say efficiency, efficiency, efficiency over and over again. There are many ways to solve a problem. If it's a problem I give you or something that you encounter in your next role, but is there a more efficient way? And that's up for you to decide. I'm going to grade it, your programs. If they work, they work. But it's up for you to decide, can I make this better? Right? So that's a little bit of something inside you that tells you I can do better. And honestly, that's what I expect from you all, to continue pushing yourselves, to continue being the best that you can be, so that when you do graduate, it's no question. You're going to get a role because I'm going to vouch for you. All right. So, and then IT is more so we take those systems that are built and we apply them to our businesses, right? We make sure the businesses can actually use them. It's great you built this, but nobody can use it. So that's what the kind of the difference, and IT also maintains those systems as well. So that's kind of the difference between CS and IT. Any questions up to this point? And if you haven't gotten it yet, my bar is high, right? I do expect a lot, but I think you all are up for the challenge if you put the work in. All right, so the Moodle page is up to date. I was working on it this morning, so what you clicked on this morning might be slightly different. So I'm going to click on the syllabus. All right, so when we get back on campus, class will be in Yancey 117. All right, just so you know, same time. Again, if you come, preferably you come at 9:55 or earlier. If you come at 10, you're going to be marked as late. All right, so anytime before 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., you'll be marked as present. At 10 a.m., you're marked as late. At 10:05, I close the door. Right? And the same goes for Zoom. If you come after 10:05, I'm going to put a today and Friday, it's kind of first week of class. But next week at 10:05, only people I permit in will be allowed in. So if you come after 10:05, sorry, I'm not going to permit you in. I'll just see you next time. Another thing, many of you are, maybe freshmen, maybe sophomores, juniors, regardless, many of you are in college, and I understand college atmosphere is fun, and I want you to have your fun. But in my class, we come to work. So if you are not in the right mindset, waking up on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, just don't show up. It's no sweat off my back. I'm not going to judge you. Trust me, I had my fun when I was in college, so definitely not judging you all. But just don't come, right? You're probably not going to get much, and you probably could use that extra hour of sleep, to be honest, okay? So those are kind of the ground rules with attendance and coming on time. If any of you have seen Drumline, I kind of stole that from that movie. By the way, that was based on A&T, Aggie Pride. All right, so we have several different categories for your grades. So participation, I'll talk about that. It's notes. So every class you'll be required to take notes. I suggest you use the Cornell method. So what is the Cornell method? So you organize your paper in this format. You title it today's date or whatever. You write your main notes, your key thoughts, any questions you have on the side, and then you summarize your notes. Why do we do this? Because it is important that you all are able and effective in your note taking, because you may or may not be able to use those on exams. So It is also a requirement. At the end of the semester, I will tally up all of your notes. So each class, I'll record your notes from the previous class. At the end of the semester, if you have there's going to be a range. I haven't quite determined what the range is. But let's say, for example, there's 20 class sessions. I think there are more. But if you have between 15 and 20 notes, you get an A for that. 10 to 15, a B, 5 to 10, C, D, and F. So how I organize it, I'll build the rubric and I'll let you all know what the rubric is for that range. So you can miss a couple of days, but I encourage you to take notes every day. All right. Reading quizzes will be done at the beginning of class. They are required. And they will be done through Moodle. And I'm going to turn on Safe Exam, which limits your cheating ability. Okay. I don't know if it's perfect, and we are kind of the guinea pigs for it. So we'll find out. But that's who we are as tech people. We guinea pig a lot of stuff. They're required at the beginning of class, and they'll cover what we're going to cover that class period. So you need to read prior to coming to class. All right. And we'll, on the schedule, you'll see what corresponds with what. Our labs will correspond with what we've covered throughout the week. Same with the assignments. Labs will be done in partners, or you can do it individually. Assignments are required to be done individually. There is no help unless you use an outside resource, but do not plagiarize. Do not copy and paste from the internet, or you will get a 0. That will be a mark on your academic record. The next time you cheat, whether it be plagiarism or on an exam or whatever, you will get a 0 for the course. So don't cheat. You're better off just not submitting anything than cheating, okay? The midterm exam, you see 10%, 10%. I wanted to take those down because not everybody is great test takers, so that's okay. So those will total 100%. Any questions about that? Grading, participation, reading quizzes, labs, assignments? All right, let's keep going. Basic stuff, no disruptive behaviors. When we get into classroom, no hats or head garments, if you will. No pajamas, lounge pants, house shoes, slippers, just be respectful. I treat you all as young or just as professionals. And I expect you to exude that as well, right? I expect you all to be professional in my classroom because we're about business. And I want you all to be about business as well. And when you graduate, it'll pay off. Trust me. All right. So I know here I have a breakdown. This is subject to change for the notes. So you can use this as tentative, but it is subject to change. And I'll let you know what happens with that. All right. So here's our schedule. Next week on Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so no class. On Friday, in the first 2 weeks of class, as you can see, will be all review from Programming 1. All right. So during this time, if you have any questions or need assistance, please do not hesitate to come to me, because once we finish this review, we're hitting the ground running. All right. I'm going to expect you to know all of this stuff by the time we get to week 3. So essentially you have 2 weeks to get a good understanding of these 2 things. Again, I am here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever day we need to schedule a time, I'll sit with you for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it takes to get you up to that level to where at week 3, we can hit the ground running. All right. So, and I'm not going to leave you all in the dust, intentionally, and if you come to me, I'm willing to work with you. If you don't come to me and you're not on square footing here, I got to keep going. All right. So we're going to have to figure something out. Okay. Any questions about leading up to week 3? Review? Any of these topics look foreign to you all? All right. All right. Going forward from there, you'll see now we start our reading quizzes, and you'll see which part in the textbook they correspond with. I know it's kind of weird. We're starting at 11.11, but the book is organized wrong, so I had to fix that. We're going to start off with assignment 3, and we have several assignments, but these will correspond to what we're reviewing. All right. And you'll see all the assignments, key dates within the semester. All right. So the last day to add drop is the 26th of this month, so you have some time. Hopefully you're not add dropping my class. Week 8, we will be doing review and makeup as well as the midterm. So review and makeup means you can review, we're going to review all these different concepts if need be. You can also make up any of the assignments and labs that we've done up to this point for half credit. All right. So I encourage you to do your assignments and labs so that you don't get marked 50% deduction come review and makeup. Okay. And that only applies to your assignments and your labs. It does not apply to the reading quizzes or notes, nothing like that. Just assignments and labs. The following week is spring break, so we're doing the exam before spring break. I never understood why professors did it after. All right, and then we're going to just continue with that kind of scheduling going forward into the end of the semester. Again, we do review and makeup in preparation for the final. The makeup only applies to what we've done since the midterm. So assignments 10, lab 10, down to assignment 14. You won't be able to make up any of these earlier assignments or labs. And again, it's 50% credit. Any questions about the schedule and expectations for this class? All right, and you'll hear me again say this a lot. Last semester, I had 2 students in this class. And what I really liked about that was there was a lot of dialogue, a lot of questions, and a lot of it were just conversations about how you can do it better and what you can work on, right? And so that's what I like about this class, more so than programming 1, where I'm just teaching you the basics. This class is now about applying those basics and actually building functional programs, okay? So we're going to learn what object-oriented programming is and what the 4 pillars of object-oriented pillar are. By the end of this class, I want you all to recite these 4 pillars like the back of your hand. Those 4 pillars in alphabetical order are abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. If you all understand those concepts, you can learn any other object-oriented programming language like Python, JavaScript, C++, Swift, C#, Objective-C, Ruby on Rails, all those Node.js, all those different programming languages. If you learn those object-oriented concepts, everything else becomes a lot easier to learn. Then it just comes down to syntax or how you write. All right. Good. All right, so what are some of those resources that I said are available to you all? So one is the computer science website. So shawcomputerscience.com. All right, this is more so, there's a lot of information about the program, computer science, an overview of it, prospective students, who are the faculty members in computer science, all that good stuff. But what you'll also see if you go into courses, CSC 202, Programming 2, you'll see a kind of a repeat of what's on Moodle. And obviously, I haven't finished working on this. I was building this from scratch, and I had a lot on my plate at the time. So I'm going to try to finish building this for you all by the end of the semester, or at least early in the semester. But you'll see a lot of what we're working on. Same thing in Moodle. Here, I just think it looks better. But another good thing about this is you can also go to academics, and you can see what degrees are offered and the course requirements for those degrees, which takes me to my next point. Starting in the fall, computer science will have a cyber operations program, which focuses on ethical hacking and malware analysis. Ethical hacking is breaking into computers for good, and malware analysis is analyzing malicious software or computer viruses to determine its behavior. That is starting in the fall, and these are the core requirements for that program as well. So if anybody's interested in that, please reach out to me so that we can get you set up and started in that curriculum. All right, another resource to you all. There is a YouTube channel. It is called Shaw Computer Science. I have lectures up there from previous classes about what we're going to do. So you see from spring 2021, I have CSC 202. Now, if you need to go back to Programming 1 and review what we covered there, I have videos up there as well on that. So use this as a resource. All right, these are my lectures from previous semesters. Use them as a resource. While we're doing online, I will upload these videos as well. All right, until we go into the classroom, and then I'm not recording anymore. It's just too much of a hassle. All right. So those are two resources. Another resource I like to use, or I used in college as well, is W3 Schools, not JavaScript, Java.
That page
So-
is awesome. W3 Schools is awesome.
Yeah. So W3 Schools, you go through here. This is all the basics. All right. In this class, same with methods. So in Programming 1, we covered from the intro all the way through methods. This class is all about pretty much this stuff: classes, file handling, and yeah. So classes and file handling, that's the meat and potatoes of this class. So if you want to go ahead, by all means, if you need review, use W3 Schools as your key resource. And Josh, this will be your one warning. I can't see your face. So going forward, you get one warning, and then after that, you get booted, okay? If you are there. All right, I'll let it slide this time. But next week, like I said, your face must be visible all of class. If it goes away, you get one warning. After that, you will get booted. All right, so we also have events coming up. When those events arise, you can go to shawcomputerscience.com and they will populate over here. We just don't have any scheduled yet. Those events will be through industry partnerships. So Red Hat has a lot of events getting you prepared for jobs after graduation. And Red Hat, if you are a top student, Red Hat will hire you, pretty much, is what they've told us. All right, so that's a great partner that we have who is actively engaged in hiring our students. Organizations, we will still have ACM. ACM will have a lot of guest lecturers coming in and potentially other events. I'm no longer the faculty advisor for ACM. So if you are interested in ACM and working with them, please reach out to Dr. Alicia Anderson. She's the program coordinator for the new program coordinator for computer information systems. She'll have better knowledge about what's going on with ACM, and I'll be working with her about that. All right. And so that pretty much concludes, what to discuss regarding the class and going forward. On Friday, we will start reviewing. But I did want to talk about after graduation, what you can look like and what the job market looks like. So like I said, Red Hat is a huge partner. We are also partnered with Google, Apple, Microsoft, wait, maybe not Microsoft, Google, Apple, IBM, Cisco, Red Hat, and I always leave one more off. I don't know why. They are looking to hire our students as well. So if you are one of our top students, and now they're only looking for the best, so you have to put the work in and get to a certain level before I'll recommend you. But they are looking for you all, so please put in the work if you want to get a job. It's pretty much that simple. Also, another alternative to just going straight into the workplace is graduate school. Graduate school is great because you get to explore a different side of tech, right? And you can get it paid for, right? And I'll explain that as well. So when I say a different side of tech, instead of just building something for a company or building, even if it's really fascinating what you're building, don't get me wrong, these companies, Facebook is, or I'm sorry, Meta is building the metaverse, right? So that's really fascinating. But in grad school, what you can do is actually the research side of things where you are at the bleeding edge of technology. You are trying to discover or uncover or create something that's never been done before. So that's one of the benefits and one of the great draws of grad school is that you get to explore something that's never been done. And you're not necessarily doing it with although you want to graduate, you don't have a time mandate on your shoulders, right? You discover it, and even if it fails, that's part of discovery. Well, we learned that doesn't work, and so that's part of research. And I encourage everyone, if you can, to at least look into grad school. And if you have questions, please come to me. I'll be happy to, talk with you more about it. Maybe even nudge you towards A&T. I don't know. But grad school is a great thing, great tool, and a great thing to put on your resume as well. You get a master's, and all of you are capable enough to get a doctorate, so you get your doctorate as well. All right, so those are kind of the two avenues you have upon graduation. You can go into the workforce, or you can go into go to grad school. Okay, and they both have their pros and cons. Now, when I said you can get grad school paid for example, I haven't paid for one semester. I'm sorry, I paid for one semester of grad school. I've been in grad school going on 6 years now. And I paid for one semester. All right. So how did I do that? Scholarships and what's the other term for it? Fellowships. Scholarships and fellowships. So one of the best scholarships, if you're interested in cybersecurity, is called the National Science Foundation Scholarship for Service. Right? What that is through the National Science Foundation in partnership with DOD and NSA, I believe. And they pay for your grad school, complete. Plus, they pay you another $30,000 on top of that to live off of, right? So that you can hopefully focus exclusively on grad school. They pay up to 3 years. The only requirement is once you graduate, you must work, and they're pushing more and more people towards the federal government, for the government, federal, state, local, or tribal, in a cybersecurity role. So not only, and SFS students, there's a yearly career fair, so getting a cybersecurity role in the government is almost guaranteed. So you don't have to worry about job placement either, because with the SFS, one of their key requirements is 100% placement. So if you're interested in that, we can have a conversation as well. And then there are plenty of fellowships and scholarships if you want to pursue grad school beyond that. And we can have a conversation about that as well. So with all that being said, I think I've covered everything for this class. If you have any questions about the class, anything I've talked about, if you want to talk about tech and the future of tech, I'm available for the next, let's say 10 minutes. I got another class at 11. So feel free to leave at this point, or you can stay on and ask questions. Either way, I'm excited about the semester, and I think you all will do great. But the work and the requirement is on your shoulders to put that work in. All right. This is not a class where you can come to class. I mean, unless you like that, I don't know. It's not one of those, I feel, that you can just come and not put any practice in at home. You'll have to practice, okay? All right, with that, I will see you on Friday. Be ready to work. And on Friday, we will install NetBeans. So look into installing NetBeans on your computers. NetBeans will be the foundation of what we'll do.
We're not using the Java, like, what was it we was using last semester?
Visualizer?
Yeah.
No, the visualizer doesn't have enough functionality. Initially, while we're doing review, up until, I think, starting February when we get back on campus, we can use the visualizer because we're just reviewing. But once we start transitioning into actual course content, you will need NetBeans.
All right.
All right, hey, Mr. Brown, I got a couple of questions for you, unless you want me to just email it to you.
No, go for it.
All right. Okay. First off, I'm definitely interested in any projects you got for, students. Anything to build my portfolio, help me out with my resume. I'm super down for that.
Okay.
So you can just pile it on. Um,
Just real quick, I'm working on machine learning, artificial intelligence, and IoT security, so Internet of Things security. So that'd be a great thing to put on your resume.
Heck yeah, I'll do any because again, I got DoD experience. I could go work for the government like you were saying. They were sending me offers, but I want to build the resume and all that stuff. The other thing, you were talking about review to catch up on anything from the first class that you were given. Since I didn't attend your first class and I was in a different class in a different university, anytime that you have free, I mean, you made my schedule, so when I have time free. So I will be glad to take any review because I have we utilize a different book. I think it was Small Basic or something that we utilize. So while it might be the same kind of language, I want to see how you drive, and how you do things. So I'm down for any kind of review. And the last thing was like, I know we've already discussed the whole PsyOps thing, but you were discussing the scholarships and the fellowships and everything like that. I definitely want to do that, man. Like I told you since last week, that is my thing. If we can find me any scholarships or fellowships, because my girlfriend, man, she just graduated with her master's last year. So she has her PhD, and I know how that life is. So you might tell them, but I've lived with that life. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I'm just worried about because my GI Bill, it runs out here in a year. So I love furthering my education, man. I'm all about this stuff. This is my life. Like I've been trying to do this since 28K modems. So but yeah.
So and if I'm not mistaken, everybody's off. So you moved to Mooresville, right?
Correct.
Yep. So you're here in the triangle. So although you may not do PsyOps here at Shaw, which I would want you to because I think you are dedicated and motivated, but it would definitely extend your graduation another 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Getting a degree in computer science translates to another university's master's program.
Okay.
The difference is, and I'm glad you said you're interested in grad school, you will need to take Cal 2.
Okay.
So you will need to take Cal 2 if you're interested in grad school.
Okay.
So there are a couple schools in North Carolina that offer master's computer science with that scholarship I just mentioned. Right.
Okay.
So NC State.
All right.
A&T.
All right.
UNC Charlotte.
UNC Charlotte.
Yep.
All right.
So they all have that scholarship available, and maybe another school that I'm not aware of might have just applied and gotten it. Maybe ECU would be the next one, I would think.
Okay.
I'm not sure about ECU though, but they have that scholarship I was talking about where it pays for school. And with your background, I imagine you'll be a prime candidate for this. Plus, you're a veteran, so
that's why I'm interested in it. Like I'm checking all the boxes here.
And I'll be honest with you, from a university perspective, that is like a highlight. That's a bonus.
Yeah, I don't play around, man.
Yeah. And so those schools I know have this program for masters in computer science.
Okay.
And so, like I said, it pays for your school plus $30,000 on top of that. And you go to a yearly career. There's a lot of different professional development opportunities. The career fair is in DC, so you'll be going up to DC. Paid for. You're not paying for any of this.
Sweet.
Yeah, professional development. You're going to be, because that's what I did, and I mean that's really what propelled me to where I'm at now. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, because if I wasn't going to do that, I was thinking about interning, like you said. I was going to say that in the chat at the at Epic up there in Cary. That's where I was going to go intern either this summer or whenever I get out. Or, I've been talking to my girlfriend about that. But yeah, I also wanted to ask you on because I had bought this might not pertain to the class, but I don't know if it would help anyway. But I bought my daughter this coding thing or whatever for that Minecraft stuff or whatever. I didn't know if it would help or if any of that, but I like doing that stuff. I like, that's why I said I'm interested in the projects, because anything y'all give me, I work on my off time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
I'm not quite familiar with that, but
Mhm.
I will tell you, working with artificial intelligence is probably a little bit step higher than that.
That's cool. That I'd like to do that anyway. You know, like you're doing baby stuff here.
But you're kind of, you came at the right time, because I'm starting my lab this semester,
Okay.
and I'm trying to identify students who should be a part of that lab. Now, preferably, I would like you to have finished this class first,
Mhm.
but we can kind of do it in tandem, because in that lab, everybody's starting from scratch for the most part. Now, the other students have finished this class, but I'll be teaching Python, right?
Awesome.
So I'll start with Python. I'll be teaching what artificial intelligence is, how to build artificial intelligence. More so, we're doing machine learning, which I'll explain what the difference between the two is.
Mhm.
And we'll be applying that to IoT security. So, there's a lot of things that we're going to be working on, hopefully, if I can get this lab running. And yeah, I'll definitely keep you in the loop once we get things started.
All right.
Obviously, it'll start off virtually, but I would like to meet on campus at some point.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm down. That's why I was going to email you, you know, but since we got the time now, that's awesome. Yeah, just keep me in the loop, man. Oh yeah, you know, the last thing before I get off, because I got class too. I took notes on today. I just do that. Did you want these? They're on Microsoft Word. I mean, you probably don't, but I just wanted to ask, since you said take notes every class.
Really, the notes are going to start once we start with the content for this class. So I think week 3 is when I'll start looking at them. But
all right,
by all means, I encourage you to take notes leading up to that, especially for the review portions. And I want to talk about that. So at noon, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm available. And actually, my office hours are in the syllabus. So however much you want to meet, just let me know. And if it takes 4 hours, it takes 4 hours. If it takes 2 hours, you know, each day after class, if you want to meet again at noon or whatever time works for you, I think you might have class at noon.
Yeah, I got classes on exactly when you said, so I'd have to coordinate with you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I got 5 classes straight in a row.
Well, you know, Tuesdays and Thursdays then, you know.
Yeah, I only got one. I definitely don't mind, man. I'm always open for it.
Well, actually, you might have another.
What with that lab?
I think I got you into the lab, the biology lab.
Okay, that's fine.
But I think your afternoons on Tuesday are open, and your mornings on Thursday
are open. Yep.
So that might
make
be
time.
how we do this.
That's fine with me. Like, this is my life, man. I'm getting old. I can't be playing around anymore. You know, my body's breaking down.
I feel you on that. I'm experiencing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, all right. I appreciate it, Mr. Brown. If I got any other questions, I'll be sure to bug you, man.
Yes, sir. Again, I'm here. This is what I do. So my job is to make you all successful. When y'all fail, it makes me look bad. So
yeah, and I appreciate it, man. You're the best. I really do appreciate this.
All right, man. Well, take it easy. Good luck this semester.
All right. Thank you. Look forward to being in class with you.
Yes, sir.
All right.